Okay, now the next aspect what you have studied is determination of optimum level of output to be produced. Okay, in the previous video that you have understood how to determine the optimum level of resource to be used. In the present video, what you need to understand is how best the optimum level of output can be determined. You know that there used to be a condition to say that the level of output produced used to be optimum or whether it used to be suboptimum. Okay, so the condition is we consider a particular criteria wherein we consider MR and MC. If MR is equal to MC, then we say that that level of output production used to be optimum. If MR, if it used to be more than MC, we say that it used to be a sort of underproduction, because here additional returns used to be more than additional cost. So still there is scope for farmer to continue production of output. If MR used to be less than MC, in the sense additional returns used to be less than additional cost, means farmer has overproduced. These two are considered to be as suboptimality. So the optimality used to be at that particular level of output production wherein MR is equal to MC. Now you need to understand what is MR, what is MC, and how best it can be determined empirically. Okay. So MR is the additional returns obtained from the production of or sale of additional output. Okay, in the sense, if you produce and sell additional unit of output, how much additional returns that you are going to get? It used to be the change in a total returns due to the production of additional unit of output. Okay. Whereas, in order to produce this additional unit of output, farmer needs to incur expenses or cost, what we call it as marginal cost. It is nothing but additional cost incurred by farmer towards production of additional output. Is it clear? So, total change in total cost due to change in output. That means if he needs to produce this additional unit of output, he needs to incur additional cost. Okay. So now, what this TR is? TR stands for total returns. How it will be obtained? See here. Supposing farmer produces Y units of output, and if he sells it at PY price, then the resulting entity we call it as total returns. In order to produce this particular output, he needs to incur cost. Is it not? He needs to incur cost, so that becomes total cost. So how the total cost will be determined now? Total cost is nothing but how much of input that he is using, and towards it how much he is paying. Is it not? Price of input into quantity of input used will going to give you the total cost. So now supposing if this much of information is given, X and Y if it is given, then various columns you need to generate. Okay, what are the columns that you need to generate means you need to determine MR and MC. For that, you need to generate delta Y, you need to generate TR. From that TR, you need to generate delta TR, you need to generate TC. From that, you need to generate delta TC. Then you are going to get what we call it as MR, MC. Then you need to make a comparison. Okay. Okay. In order to determine the optimum level of output, the information given will be price of output as rupees 0.5 per unit, price of input as rupees 20 per unit, X and Y, X applied and Y obtained. These two columns will be given. Now, with the help of this, you need to determine that particular condition wherein the output production is said to be optimum. Okay, that means you need to generate few columns, that is delta y, TR, change in TR, ratio of change in TR to the change in Y, TC, change in TC, ratio of change in TC to change in Y. Okay, so now how to determine TR? TR, you know that it is nothing but it is a product of price of output and quantity of output produced. Quantity of output produced is given, it used to be 500, okay, and price of output is 0.5, such that if you multiply 500 with 0.5, then you are going to get the TR. Okay, so the corresponding TR is to be 250. Is it not? Because we have multiplied 500 with 0.5. 1200 with 0.5, it used to be 600. Okay, 1250, 2100, 3000. It used to be 3600. This used to be 3900. This used to be 4000. It used to be 4000, and this used to be 3750. Okay, in this way you need to generate what we call it as TR. Once you get the TR, now you need to take the incremental change in total returns. How to do that? You need to negate 600 and 250. That means you need to subtract 250 from 600, and you need to repeat the same procedure for rest of the observations. Okay, 600 minus 250, you will going to get 350. 1250 minus 600, it used to be 650. Same procedure will be repeated. Okay, once you get change in TR and the change in Y, what you need to do? You need to take the ratio of change in TR divided by change in Y, which used to be 350 divided by 700, which used to be 0.5, and you need to repeat the procedure. It used to be 0.5 in all the cases. Okay, what it implies? Look at this figure, it used to be 0.5, which is nothing but price of output. Okay, so that remember, MR is nothing but price of output. Okay, once you derive MR, next thing is that you need to derive MC. Okay, to get MC, you need to determine TC first. How to determine TC? TC used to be the product of price of input paid into quantity of input used. Quantity of input used is 5. 5 should have to be multiplied with its price. It used to be 20, so 5 into 20 it used to be 100, and you need to repeat the procedure. 100. In this case, it used to be 10 into 20, it used to be 200. If you repeat, then you will get 300, 400, it used to be 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, then it used to be 1000. Okay, now you need to take the incremental total cost. It used to be the difference of successive units of input applied. So it used to be 200 minus 100, it used to be 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. Okay. Is it clear? Once you get change in total cost, now you need to take the ratio of change in total cost and the change in total output. Okay, which will going to give you marginal cost. Okay, that means what you need to do now? Okay, the last step here is you need to determine MC, which used to be the ratio of change in total cost to the change in total output. Change in total cost you have determined. Okay, change in total output is already there with you. Now you need to take the ratio of change in total cost to the change in total output. That is 100, you need to divide it by 700, the value of which used to be 0.14. Okay, similarly 100 you need to divide it by 1300, and you need to get the value, it used to be 0.08. If you repeat the procedure, okay, for rest of the observation, then it will going to give you MC. Okay, once you derive MC and once you have MR with you, now in order to determine the optimum level of output, what you need to do, you need to compare MR with that of MC. Now you compare MR. Okay, this used to be MR and this used to be the MC value for the corresponding output production, that is 1200. Okay, now whether this quantity of output production is rational or not, whether farmer should have to continue production of output or whether he should have to stop is a question. So the deciding factor is, if MR used to be more than MC means you should have to continue. Is it not so? MR is more than MC, so that you should have to continue production. Here again MR is more than MC, MR is more than MC, MR more than MC, MR more than MC. MR used to be more than MC. At this particular level of output production, supposing if you consider here MR, see here, this particular level of output production 8000, here MR is equal to MC. That means here MR and MC both are equal. What it implies? It indicates that farmer should have to produce 8000 units of output in order to get the maximum profit, such that this level of output production we call it as optimum level of output production. Okay, we call this as optimum level of output production. When we did optimum level of resource use, we got 40 units. Is it not? That means either way the operational decision of how much to produce can be addressed either by determining optimum level of resource use or by determining optimum level of output production. In both the cases, the same combination has yielded maximum profit. Okay, so again we can interpret that farmer, if he is producing this particular level of output, okay, then we could say that the production used to be under production. So farmer should have to continue production. This used to be the optimum level of output production, and these two level of output production we can call it as overproduction. So here MR used to be less than MC, farmer should have to stop production of output. This used to be the optimum, and here MR used to be more than MC, such that farmer should have to continue